When you become an English teacher in the future, how can the study of semantics increase your students' understanding? Well, there is a lot, but I will brief talk on the 4 related concepts of semantics.
The meaning of word, sentence relationship, discourse and context, and also ambiguity. Through words meaning, students will improve their vocabulary by learning synonyms, antonyms, homonyms, and many other. Meanwhile, in sentence relationship, they will get to learn about paraphrasing, which is very important, especially in reading and writing. Discourse and context, on the other hand, will enable them to realize that not all similar words are applicable in any circumstances. Last but not least, exposure to semantics will avoid ambiguity in their speech and writing.
Linguistics is all about the study of meaning in language. As a student, learning language without a strong foundation can cause difficulties for them to understand and also to catch up. As a students, they commonly facing difficulties in order to understand the lessons during classroom teaching. Therefore, the study of semantics, it can help the students to solve the difficulties with meaning because of these few things. Firstly, semantics can help students to increase their vocabulary. Vocabulary is very important for us in order to convey something. Semantics, it can help students to increase their vocabulary because in semantics, there are many branches. For example, one of it is figurative language. In figurative language, there are hyperbola, personification, alliteration, simile, and so on. And students also can achieve higher proficiency levels because they gain large vocabulary resources. They will be able to understand the words that are being spoken to them without taking time in order to understand those words. Thus, it can help students to be more confident in using language because they are able to solve the difficulties with meanings. Next, semantics also can solve students' difficulties with meaning because semantics, as we know, as I mentioned before, it is the study of meaning in language. An educator can help students to understand the meaning of words and also increase their knowledge in understanding the meaning of words, especially in English. As we know, language is used to express meaning which can be understood by others. Students will learn more new words and they will be able to solve the difficulties in understanding meaning. Moreover, semantics also can help the students on how to organize and express meaning. Students, they will be able to organize and express their meaning by learning semantics, and this can solve the difficulties with understanding meaning among the students in classroom teaching. When students are exposed with meanings, they will be able to organize every word into correct groups according to what those words represent.
Variations in a word's meaning is why semantics is very important, especially for ESL learners, since they have to memorize many things. Teaching semantics to them will improve their skills in comprehension. As for example, homonym. Homonym helps them to understand that one word can have more than one meaning.
So, teaching semantics to the ESL learner, it will help to improve their skills in comprehensions. As we all know, semantics, it is pretty complex, but it is essential for expressing ideas and understand meaning. Teaching semantics to the ESL learners also can help them to increase their knowledge in writing or speaking because of their understanding in some of the basic notions in semantics, which used to convey or express a person's intentions, feelings, or thoughts. Teaching semantics also can help ESL learners to improve their skills because in semantics, ESL learners will be able to learn not only in not only in learning about speaking, but also in another language skills, which is listening, writing, and also reading.
Moving on to number 4, why is the study of semantics considered important for teachers and students in English second language classrooms? So, there are several reasons for this. The first reason for the students is so that they can acquire a new language. Without the understanding of meaning, they wouldn't be able to understand what a language is speaking or what the language means, because the basic concept they have to acquire in order to learn a language is the meaning of the sentence. So it is important for them to understand the study of meaning. The second reason is for sentence structure. So as we know, in English language, there are 4 types of sentence structure that students need to be aware of, and they need to be able to distinguish it from each other. So the ability for them to do it will make them to understand better in English, and the meaning of the sentence can be understood by them. So, and the third reason why the study of semantics is important is the relation to other linguistic fields. So, since semantics is the study of meaning, it is important for them to acquire the semantics of a linguistic, because if they don't acquire it, they won't be able to understand other linguistic fields such as syntax or morphology. It will make it hard for them to understand a language. So, why is the study of figurative language considered important too in semantics? So as we know, figurative language is a semantic concept where we put abstract things into things we can see in real life. Some of the concepts under figurative language are simile, personification, metaphors, idioms, and many more. So, why is it important? Why is figurative language important? The figurative language is considered as a device to make students understand more about a language. So, for example, we put an example of happiness. Happiness is an abstract thing that we cannot see but we can feel. So, when we put it into something real that we can see and touch in real life, students will be able to understand more the concept of the abstract thing, and they will be able to relate it with something real life.
I am here to explain to you about the importance of teaching figurative language to the ESL learners. First of all, it is very important for students or for learners to learn figurative language because it enables them to understand the implied meaning in a context. This is because sometimes the meaning in a context cannot be taken literally as it was, because it requires further understanding and also a deeper comprehension. For example, in one of William Shakespeare's piece of works, in Julius Caesar, during the speech of Mark Antony, he began his speech by, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears." So, the phrase "lend me your ears," if we take this phrase literally, the meaning of this phrase literally, it means that Mark Antony wanted to borrow the ears of the people. If we think carefully, it doesn't make sense. And this is why we need to learn, or the learners need to learn figurative language. Because figuratively, the phrase "lend me your ears" actually means to give full attention. So in this context, Mark Antony actually requires or wanted the people to give him a full attention. So this is why figurative language is very important, because it helps the learners to interpret the hidden meaning in a context successfully. Secondly, the importance of teaching figurative language to the ESL learners is to enable the learners to extract meaning from different angles. This is because some words, especially abstract words, they are very hard to be explained and to be described. Therefore, sometimes writers use comparisons or use figurative language such as personification and metaphor to compare two different ideas together. So when learners read about this comparison, they will understand the meaning of the abstract words better, because they can sense or they can visualize the words according to the comparison. For example, we take the word life. Life is one of the examples of abstract words. So different people, they view life differently from the other people. That's why the meaning or the definition of life is various. For example, Albert Einstein once said that life is like riding a bicycle. To keep balance, you must keep moving. But for some people, they describe life as a roller coaster or as a battle. So this kind of different perspective will help the learners to understand the different kinds of definition from different kind of people. And therefore, it will help them to view the meaning of the abstract words better without looking for the literal meaning in the dictionary. Thirdly, it is very important for ESL learners to learn about figurative language because it can help them to be more creative in their sentence production. According to WAHIT 2020, figurative language is very important for good writing, and because it can transform ordinary description into evocative event. So one of the advantages of using figurative language is that we can use it in whatever or whichever way we like. Hence, this will help in enhancing students or the learners' creativity in describing something. For example, the sentence, "My heart hurts." So instead of just plainly saying "my heart hurts," we can be more exaggerate. We can exaggerate the sentence a bit. For example, "My heart hurts so bad, like it was being stabbed by a knife." So this exaggeration will help will add more colors towards the sentences and will make the sentences to be more interesting to be read. Last but not least, teaching figurative language to the ESL learners is very important because it can help them to boost their confidence level in English, because figurative language can improve their fluency in English. According to Tulsian 2019, figurative language is partly rooted in culture. Therefore, sometimes understanding the meaning of the context can be quite challenging and difficult because it's not within our culture. Therefore, for those students who have mastered this skill in figurative language, they will be able to improve their fluency eventually. However, for those students who still cannot grasp the concept of figurative language, they may experience demotivation, because no matter how hard they try to understand the context, they still cannot understand it because they keep on looking on the literal meaning instead of the figurative meaning. Hence, slowly their passion to learn English may be faded out and will slowly diminish. So for teachers, this incidents or this occurrence is not something that they will need, or they will try to avoid this kind of thing to happen. So that's why figurative language is very important to be taught to the students.
There are various types of teaching strategies in teaching figurative language. But first of all, what is figurative language? Figurative language uses words or expressions to convey a meaning that is very different from the literal interpretations, such as simile, metaphor, hyperbole, personifications, idioms, and so on. Okay, so what is the best strategies that would be used to teach figurative language? In my opinion, there are three approaches that would help students to learn figurative language effectively. Or the first one would be problem-solving approaches. Problem-solving approaches is a plan of action that is used to find a solution. Okay, so by using this trial and error strategy, students might be able to use different types of solution to solve a problem. For example, in literature context, students are required to locate all the figurative language that they can obtain from the context and try to find the literal meaning of every word or phrases that they obtain. Okay, so they have to identify whether that is the message or the message that the context tried to deliver. If it is not, then they have to find another solution, for example, by using their background knowledge in to find out the hidden message that the context tried to deliver to the readers. Okay. So moving on to the second approaches, which is connecting to the real world. Connecting to the real world is a plan to help students to grasp the idea of the figurative language that can be related in the real world settings. Okay, for example, the simile as brave as a lion. So when we came upon this simile as brave as a lion, lion here indicates the as the king of the jungle. So when we came upon these phrases as brave as a lion, we knew instantly that the person is very brave. Okay, so this approach would help students to remember easily by relating the meaning of the figurative language into the real world settings. So the third one would be visualization approaches, where it is we use images as a helping tool to gain more information. Okay, for example, the metaphor of the pillow is soft as cloud. So obviously we never touched a cloud before, but we knew that the cloud is soft, right? So this message is explaining that the pillow is soft and cloud indicates soft. So these approaches will help students to understand the meaning of the context and figure out what is the context trying to deliver to the reader.
Class, just now you have listened to 4 songs. So can I have a volunteer to share her answer about the figurative language that you've got in the song?
Let me try, teacher. The figurative language that I got is "it will not change a thing," which is like fire and rain.
Good! So what can you understand from the phrase?
In my opinion, the songwriter he wants to compare the two person or the lover with rain and fire, which means the pair of lover has a complete different personalities or behavior because the element of fire and rain is a polar opposite. Is that true, teacher?
Good. I'm impressed. Good job, BELLYZA. Thank you. So now I would like to choose one person. Rebecca, you look confused. Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay, if you say so. So would you mind sharing your answer to the class?
Wait, teacher. Is it perfectly imperfect?
That doesn't quite right, but that's okay. I'll give you another chance. So, can you please explain something else, but just a different song this time, okay?
Boo, wrong.
Please don't be like that. Support your friends.
Sorry, teacher. Sorry, Becca.
Yes, Becca, continue.
Teacher, I got this from the song Roar. I got the eye of a tiger.
Then Rebecca, so what actually does it mean? Does the singer really has the eye of a tiger?
No, teacher, because this song is about giving motivation. So I think the songwriter meant that we should have the eye like a tiger so that we can be fierce and don't be demotivated by our surroundings.
Very good job, Rebecca. Excellent.
Wow, amazing, Becca.
Since Yasmin likes to mock her friends, she seems like she wants to talk so much. So why don't we give her a chance to share her answer? Come on, Yasmin.
Okay. So, I want to share a figurative language from Taylor Swift's song entitled Love Story, which is And You Were Romeo and I Was a Scarlet Letter.
Wow, interesting. Please explain more, Yasmin.
So, in the song, Taylor Swift has compared Juliet to Scarlet Letter. In the past, Scarlet Letter means that someone has done a crime. So, Taylor Swift is trying to compare that Juliet's love for Romeo was a crime that time. Isn't it sweet?
Yes, that's very sweet, Yasmin. And your explanation was super. So before we end our class today, I will choose one person for the last time to share her answer. So Susanti, you're the chosen one. So please share your answer.
Aye, teacher. So I found figurative language in Fireworks by Katy Perry, and it goes, Baby, you're a firework, come and let your colors burst.
It's a very nice voice, Susanti, and I like it. And your answer, it's a very good answer. So do you mind sharing the meaning of the phrase that you have said?
The meaning of the lyric is actually giving confidence to listener. The songwriter compared the listener to fireworks that sparks in the sky. So the phrase let it burst mean one need to unleash their potential in themselves and shine like fireworks.
And that's a very excellent explanation also. And for the rest of the class, this is the end of our class today. So I really hope that you guys really understand about figurative language, yeah? Because it's very important. And for your next class, I would like you to write about yourself and add some figurative language also, okay? And I will check it for the next class, alright?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Good. So let's meet next week, okay? Bye. In conclusion, figurative language is not the topic that should be skipped by both students and also teachers. This is because figurative language is a very important thing to be learned as an English learner. In literature works, figurative language is widely used to describe something, and students need to be able to grasp the concept of figurative language to be able to understand all the meanings, all the hidden meanings that are stated in literature work. And for sure, figurative language plays a very vital role in helping the students to analyze or to understand certain literary work. So in conclusion, it is very important for students to learn about figurative language.
Do these turkeys get any bigger? No, unfortunately they're dead. Do you have any books on turtles? Hardback? Yeah, with little heads. How often do planes crash? Just once? Can I call you back? I'm just watching a live stream. I think I have a crush on Beyonce. Well, whatever floats your boat. No, that's buoyancy. My wife is going into labor. What should I do? Is this her first child? No, this is her husband. It's a lovely day. I'm going to take Danny outside and watch the car with him. What a wonderful idea.